Good afternoon, Good Shepherd. It's Wednesday, December 4th, 2024, and we are into Advent now. This great season. More about that as we go along. This coming Sunday, services as usual, 7:45 in the chapel with Zoom, and at 10:30 in the sanctuary with live stream. And the bulletin, of course, is online should you want to download that and follow along. In between those services is our Faith Forum as we continue our discussion from the devotional series, Practicing Peace with All Our Heart, Soul, Mind, and Strength. Um, I've been reading these devotions each morning now and journaling on them, and I've journaled longer than I thought I might. So the questions, the thoughts that are raised, and the questions in them are provocative and thoughtful. And I've really enjoyed that. So if you are engaging in that, or even if you just want to come on Sunday mornings and hear the discussion around the around those devotions and our Advent pondering about peace, you're welcome to do so. Please do so. 9:15 in the chapel. The recording of last time has gone up online. You can find it there. There was a notice about Sunday services that went out yesterday, and a link to the conversation that we had is there as well. And of course, if you want to get a copy of the devotional in the e-news, that's gone out a couple of times. It will be in the e-news again tomorrow. So. As if you were in church on Sunday, you heard the announcement that the Bazaar raised well over $5,000 for our outreach efforts. And as I was listening to people talk about it, people who donated, who helped set up, people who bought things, clearly it was a great success all the way around. I know our outreach partners will be very happy to receive some portion of that. And a big thank you goes to Marilyn Taylor, all of the people who helped set up, all of the people who made things, donated things. It was a great event. So thank you so much. Also, a big thank you to everyone who contributed to the angel tree. All of the stuff that got taken away, there was a lot of it, whether it was toys or makeup kits for kids or sporting equipment, greatly appreciated. And I think we have a picture of it somewhere. I was told that we do, and we'll certainly make that available. But that too was a great success, and the generosity of Good Shepherd's members continues to be great. So thank you for that. As we move through Advent, a few things coming up, of course. One is that we're starting rehearsals for the Christmas pageant. And so all the kids who want to be a sheep, a lamb, an angel, or any of the other roles that we might have available, meet after church for the next several Sundays. And the meeting will either be in the sanctuary or downstairs, depending on what Anna Branton, thank you, Anna, wants to do. But all kids are welcome. We've got roles for everyone. So that's going on the next several Sundays until Christmas Eve. On December 14th, Saturday, December 14th, the annual Hungry Flock Open House will happen, and it will be at Susan's and my house, as it was last year, although a little different this time around. You're encouraged to bring finger foods and things like that, and just come on over to our house between 2 and 5 for some fellowship and good cheer. More instructions will be in the e-news, and you will hear about that. And then, of course, the following day, December 15th, at the 10:30 service, we've got the choir's cantata, Longing for Light. We had a preview at the 10:30 service of what that will sound like, as the choir did one of the pieces from that cantata as our offertory. So if you weren't here and you would like to go back and hear what that's going to sound like, you can go back and look at the 10:30 service, the link in the email yesterday. So please do that. Speaking of Christmas and all of that, the The Christmas schedule, let's make sure that we've got this straight. Christmas Eve, we will have the 4 p.m. service, and that will include the pageant. And then we'll have an 8 p.m. service, and that's choirs and candles, sort of traditional Christmas Eve service. So 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then on Christmas Day, the next morning, we'll have one service, and that will be at 10 a.m. The following Sunday, Christmas 1, is the 29th of December, one service, 9 a.m. It will be live streamed, so you'll be able to catch that if you can't make it. Sue LaFont, our Christian education director, says that there will be a one-room Sunday school on that morning. So there will be Sunday school that day, just not quite the way that it's normally done, given reduced staff and things like that. And then on January 5th, we'll be back to our normal schedule, as we've been doing it, 7:45 in the chapel and 10:30 in the sanctuary. So that's our upcoming schedule. Couple comments. We're still on stewardship. We're still accepting pledges. We've edged over $515,000 in pledging now, which is fabulous. Thank you so much. Special shout out to those who have heard the appeal and have increased their pledge. That's always an option. And a reminder, some of the reasons that it's a larger ask this year is we want to make sure that we can fund a youth director. There are issues of paving the parking lot, issues of making sure that the staff is justly compensated. There are some desires for new tables in the parish hall. So there are a number of things well above that are different than all those fixed expenses that we have, just like you all have, insurance, building upkeep, all of those kinds of things. So we're still, like I say, still collecting pledges. If you haven't pledged, please do, so that we can make good decisions as we move closer to annual meeting and have to make that vote on the budget. Speaking of annual meeting, we are looking for vestry folks, and we're going to be sort of asking folks, maybe a little more in the next few weeks. So if you are approached, please listen graciously and pray hard about whether or not you can say yes to serving the congregation in that way, and we'll be in touch. So I am going to close with yet another, it's not so much a prayer, but a blessing, an Advent blessing from this book, Prayers of Our Hearts by Vienna Cobb Anderson. The blessing of God, who has promised to come into our lives, be with you today. The blessing of God, whose love ransoms us from all captivity, be with you forever. The blessing of God, whose breath brings new beginnings, send you forth into the world to create a new day for the good of all. Amen. I look forward to seeing you soon. Blessings, my friends.